Mulan, the 2020 live-action remake by Disney, is directed by Nick Caro and stars Liu Fei as Mulan. And the story is about a woman from rural China who enlists in the Chinese army after her elder father is conscripted in, so she steals his armor and sword and goes in his place disguised as a man. Now, this movie is obviously going to get a lot of comparison with its animated counterpart, which was released in 1998. And I would say, yeah, go watch that movie. Go watch this movie. That movie is far, far, far superior to this movie. I didn't feel like Disney understood what was so good about that original movie. There seems to be a bit of a disconnect with Disney at the moment as to what people want from these movies. I understand that there are people saying, hey, we want shot-for-shot remakes, and hey, we don't want shot-for-shot remakes. We want things that are new and different. And it's almost as if Disney were like, okay, we hear all of you and we're going to listen to none of you. So I think my biggest problem with this movie is the fact that they give Mulan powers, like superpowers. She's not meant to have superpowers, is she? In the original movie, she's supposed to just be a incredibly intelligent, smart woman who just happens to be very good at being a warrior. She's trained, she's dedicated, and that's how she gets by. But in this movie, she has something called chi, and everyone's got chi, but she can harness it better than others, and it's weird. And it's one of those things where I just don't feel like it was explained properly. I don't like the addition of it. It almost takes away from the fact that she can do anything a man can as a woman. And as far as I'm concerned, she's got the ability, she's got the knowledge. Just let her have that. Don't give her these powers to explain why she's better. Just let her be better. It's fine that way. So the tone of this movie is actually quite dark and serious. It's not very light-hearted. They went for like a proper, they tried to make it like a proper war movie. It was quite an interesting take, and not what I would have thought Disney would have gone for, but hey, that's the way they went. But in doing so, it made the acting feel very over the top and cheesy, because the acting wasn't serious. The acting felt like, besides from Mulan, everyone else was a bit cheesy and over the top, and kind of not taken too seriously. It just felt a bit weird, and a disconnect again between the acting and the tone. And there I have a problem. That isn't with the actor's fault, that's a direction fault, because there you're supposed to be controlling that kind of thing, and it doesn't work. There's a lot wrong with this movie, and I could go on for another 10-15 minutes as to what is wrong, but I'm actually just kind of gonna list what I think is wrong and a brief reason why for the next few minutes. So first off, I think the fact that they left out Mushu is a big problem. They tried to replace him with the Phoenix as like this guiding light, and then with the people and her regiment, or the guys in her regiment, as like the light-hearted kind of characters to kind of break the ice, kind of like comedy relief. Again, that fell flat. The chemistry there between her and her comrades wasn't really there until this one campfire scene before they go into battle. So there was that. The visuals are subpar. This movie had a budget of $200 million. Where the hell did that go? Because it certainly wasn't in the CGI. Even the practical effects were okay, but really there's a scene where she's on top of a mountain, she's having a talk with the witch, and you can tell that it's green screen all the way through. It just does not look good. You can also tell there's very obvious dubbing in this movie, where they take scenes where it doesn't look like when the characters are speaking, it doesn't sound like that's the voice that's coming out of their mouth. There's also the ending. There's a change in character which was very meh and quite honestly undeserved. And probably the biggest crime with regards to the casting is the fact that they casted Jet Li and Donnie Yang as the Emperor and Mulan's commander respectively, and they did nothing with him. You cast Jet Li, who's one of the best martial artists and stuntmen coming out of China, as the Emperor, and he does nothing. Donnie Yen's the same. He has this amazing display of power and ability in the training camp. It's one of the first things you see in the training camp, and there's so many cuts and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like you get his power and coming out of him, you're getting it from the edits, and that's not how it should be. And speaking of the editing is quick and nowhere. It's quick and quick cuts, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel necessary. You've got all of these talented people, just let them do their thing and just have your camera on them while they're doing their thing. I promise you, you're gonna get great material. Man, this movie felt like it had so much potential, and Disney and the creators here just flushed it completely down the toilet. I can understand why they wanted to make it this big epic, but it felt like they just couldn't. There are two saving graces when it comes to this movie. I did mention with this movie that the fight scenes were not great, and quite honestly, in quite a few of them I was bored. I mean, in the war scene, I was bored out of my mind. I found myself yawning in a war scene. Don't make me in a war battle yawn. That's not how you meant to do these things. And also, so some of the fight scenes, the hand-to-hand combat was pretty cool. The end fight scene was fine. They did a couple of really cool things in that. And then with the relationship between Mulan and her father, I think that is the only part of this movie where nothing went wrong. Nothing went wrong with the relationship between her and her father. It was so good. It was amazing to see. I actually wanted to see more of that. Yeah, well, props for them for doing that. I think it's Jima as the dad. Really, really well done. Probably the only actor in this movie where I was like, yeah, no mistakes there. He was brilliant. Well done. Overall, I feel like this movie was, quite brutally honest, a waste of time and money. I feel like I wasted 200 Rand going to go see this movie with my wife. It didn't feel good. I won't watch it again. Or put it this way, I won't go out and say, yeah, I really want to watch this again. Nope, not gonna happen. I'd much rather just put on the animated movie. It doesn't hold up compared to the animated, and when I have kids, yeah, the animated movie is the way to go, not this garbage. It's not so bad that it's getting my lowest rating, but it's definitely only going to be left on in the background at best. Anyway guys, that's my review for Mulan. What did you guys think? Have you seen it? What did you think of the movie if you have? Leave a comment down below, hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, have a good one guys.